Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to go ahead and give my review over the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now, let's go ahead and get into it because I want to go ahead and try and knock out the Beverly Hills review tonight, all right? All right, so listen. So the episode basically starts off, and I know I'm late with this review, so I'm really going to try to just talk about, I guess, the important things and not go scene by scene. I'm late, basically. I was in LA. Okay. So, all right. So, listen. So, it starts off with basically Jen and her assistant. Jen and this white man is stealing folks' money. I don't understand. I don't have no businesses. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not this businessman and know the ins and out how, a certain business or a business or this expert in business and making deals. But it is weird to me how her assistant is making deals for her. Like, when I think of an assistant, I don't think of someone who would actually be making deals for you, making money for me. Like getting your coffee, making flight arrangements, doing things that you may not necessarily have time to do, but that doesn't mean they're in your business. Like, I don't know, like they're your employee, but I just think it's weird that, girl, this man who's supposed to be her assistant is also on the forefront of her deals. Lisa Kids, I will say this much. For her son to only be 16 and for him to be able to, I'm sure his parents helped him, of course, but for him to be able to accomplish what he's accomplished and get in front of a crowd of people and give a speech, I thought that was like, oh my God, this is really, really cute. They did a little party at the end for his men's grooming line called Fresh Wolf. Okay, Mary, Heather, and Whitney meet up and they basically talk about, I think I skipped a part. Lisa comes up in conversation. I'm glad Mary was aware. She let the girls know that she basically did get into Lisa's ass. So it wasn't necessarily Lisa's fault that time. They asked her, she told them that she is triggered when someone questions her because her mother questioned her. I guess it was a big deal when she decided to marry her now husband, who was her grandmother's husband before she passed away. And that, of course, caused a big rift in the family. And she hasn't spoken to her mother in 25 years. And, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Sometimes I feel like Mary is probably the most honest on the show, but I also sometimes feel like Mary is putting on. I'm not saying Mary is a scammer, but sometimes I feel like it's Mary really being truthful. But I also feel like Mary, when I think about Mary being on the show, she's been nothing but honest, in my opinion. Now, once we start to pull back the layers of that family of hers, and I'm sure the mama got a different story and other people, I don't know. Things make it a little bit iffy as we see some shit about to come out on Mary, I guess, with this Cameron man. Anyways, I thought it was kind of funny when Heather was talking about, her outfit, and Whitney made a joke basically saying she doesn't have anything that she doesn't own anything. She doesn't own anything that she can wear to church. I said, I know that's right, honey. Miss Whitney said, once some hoes kicked me out the church house, I threw all them church clothes away, and girl, I ain't been back ever since. I said, I know that's right. The photo shoot, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Jen was fly. I love that wolf hat. I thought that wolf hat was fly. This situation basically that happened between Jen and her former, I guess, designer or someone who she hired to design a dress. and I guess the dress didn't make it on time, and Jen basically cursed the man out, or cursed this person. I don't know if it was a man or a woman. I can't remember, or what they identified as. I don't know, but I can't remember who it was. But Jen basically started to act a fool at the photo shoot, crying. You know, one thing about Jen, Jen thinks she black, but baby, Miss Thing gonna turn on them white woman tears at the drop of, like, Jen, why are you so upset, girl? Like, it really just sounded like, to me, not to make it seem as though it's not that big of a deal, because you shouldn't talk to anyone like that, but it really sounded like, to me, like Jen wanted a dress, the dress didn't come, and she cursed somebody out. That's what it sounded like to me. So I didn't really understand why Jen was so upset about this conversation that was being had, you know? Lisa, I don't know what to say about Lisa, y'all. Lisa really gives me real sneaky woman tease. Like, her name is coming up a lot. You know, it was weird how when her and, oh, excuse me, y'all. It was weird how when the conversation came up with her and Jen, how she kind of just went straight to her relationship. You know what's getting on my nerve? Let me finish this thought. She kind of went straight to her relationship with Heather, and how I guess it could be a little bit toxic. You know what's strange to me is I'm starting to feel like in this group of women, it's starting to become a versus. It's starting to become who team are you? Are you team Heather? Team Lisa? It's kind of like Lisa against the group. And if you're going to be with Lisa, or are you going to be over here with the other people that are against Lisa, right? So I feel like it's kind of like Whitney and Heather, and then it's Lisa. And then, of course, Meredith is cool with everybody. So I think it's kind of like they're trying to get, I don't know, it's weird. It comes across as though a lot of the women are being very much so. Heather made some type of comment about Lisa in like the 4th grade. But quiet as it's kept, that's how Heather to me is acting. Lisa is very sneaky to me. Even with the whole, hold up. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, so, Whitney and her brother. Whitney, they have this kind of like thing called a Bladers Club. Bladers Club, is that what it's called? Bladers or Blade Club? Bladers Club. Basically, long story short, her father doesn't talk to her anymore, but he talks to her brother. Her father is probably a very manipulative person. How is it that Whitney was the one who was pretty much taking care of you, and then she, you know, is the one, she's the reason how you now have a relationship with your son. And as soon as you get into start having this relationship back with your son, you cut Whitney off. Whitney pretty much is at the end of the road with her father. I'm glad that her brother told her that it's okay if you're not. Some people are just family because of blood. I said, bitch, I know that's fucking right. Okay. But I'm glad that her brother told her if it's not a situation that you can deal with, it's okay. It's okay to cut him off. Like he's talked to the father, but if that's not something that you can deal with, it's okay. I said, I know that's right, brother. But Lisa, Cameron, this black couple who she met through Mary. Lisa, I don't trust Lisa. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't trust Lisa. Lisa got her hand too much in the cookie jar. Like, it was so weird to me how Lisa was sitting there talking to Meredith, and then Cameron walks up and gives her a hug. He was about to leave, And then all of a sudden, a photographer walks up and asks, can he take a picture with Lisa? And now it's only Meredith and Cameron just sitting there talking. Then he starts to play this game of, girl, solve the murder, solve the mystery, right? Look, if you're going to tell it, tell it. So he starts to talk about Mary and how Mary and Robert are not the people that people think that they are and how they've hurt people, but he doesn't want to say, and he's going to leave it at that. And then he pretty much just leaves Meredith kind of just with a million thoughts running through her head. And then she talks to Lisa, and Lisa always looks like, Lisa always looks guilty and dumb to me. Sorry. Like, and then it's like Lisa always ends up telling on herself because it's like, well, how does she say it? Kind of like, I know him, I met him through Mary, he told me about his experience. So it's almost like you kind of knew what he was about to tell Meredith. I don't know, I don't trust Lisa. I don't trust her. I think Lisa might be the girl. I ain't gonna say I don't trust Lisa, but I don't think Lisa is as innocent as some people may think. I say this much. I could definitely see why Heather and Whitney probably don't trust Lisa. Even though it does come across as like, girl, I want you to be on my team and not Lisa's. I could definitely see why they don't trust Lisa. Because Miss Lisa, girl, you're real sneaky fish. Girl, you are. That was pretty much it. Y'all. All right. That was it for I know that was a quick review, but I don't want to hold y'all up for too long because greatest review should have been done, but I was in LA, in them streets, honey, and having a good time. So I'll talk to y'all later. I'm about to rewatch, because I've already watched it once. I'm about to rewatch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then I'll have that review up tonight. Bye, y'all.